Hey guys, this is your boy, Mr. Slenderman, and welcome back to another video review. So today we're going to be showcasing this piece of work. It was produced by someone who goes by the name of Stephen Owen. Stephen Owen is a renowned model maker in the UK. He does a lot of exhibitions and participates in events and whatnot. I'm not too sure if he was an ex-bus driver, but I wouldn't be surprised. So he was the person responsible for producing this particular model, the Dennis Stark Marshall Capital in First London Livery. This particular vehicle depicts the route 236 to Hackney. This is one of my local routes, and there's a lot of nostalgic value when it comes to this, not just route but the actual vehicle itself. This used to operate around the time of between 2005 to 2012, 13. So without further ado, let's get into the model. Firstly, just like to commemorate and appreciate the work that Stephen has put into this model, because he's the one who, made it happen. And it was in 2023 or 2024 where I found Stephen Owen through referral, and I contacted him. I said, I would like to get a model of this vehicle in this exact livery and in this exact route. After a couple of months or a year, he found a kit which he picked up somewhere. I'm not too sure where. It was a very old kit. I think early 2000s it probably came out, considering this vehicle started to operate around late 1990s. But let's get into the model. So as you can see, this was a very old kit, but he used the interior of a Dart, and he chopped it up to make it fit the body. Yeah, he's done a lot of kind of detailing on this model. It's just a beautiful piece, and I didn't expect it to be this good. Primarily, it's going to a location every day. That's where I think the nostalgia derives from. Do you know what I mean? In the 2000s era, this new design choice of spray painting the top of buses white was more of like a late 2000s. It's for the satellites to pick up the fleet number, which is obviously this here, and I guess it's to kind of track the routes so that everything's on schedule. But also it is white because it is kind of to deflect the sun. He's put a little sun blind thing in there. He's put that number, whatever that is. He's put an Oyster card in there. Yeah, he's done a lot of work, but I will get into the things that I've done, because there are a lot of things that I have changed with the model. You can see I was impressed as well with this little emergency lever, the little flap thing that you open for the door. He's put a little giveaway sign there as well, a little camera there. And the transfers itself are phenomenal. The destination blinds, they're very clear. So what I've done is I've changed mainly the interior. There was a lot of bars that were missing. There was certain features like kind of those little things on the rear door, those little panels with the glass, where you usually, when you're on the bus, you kind of lean against it when you're getting off the bus, or if it's packed you lean against it, that thing there. Yeah, stuff like that. Just extra bars. I put some bus stop buttons in there. It's a bit hard to see, but you can probably see some in there. What's it called? The little iBus monitor thing in there. The Oyster card has now been painted. You can see little yellow, yeah, a lot of details. The little mirror as well. You see the little mirror with the little warning kind of stripes on there. I put a hub odometer as well on the wheel, which is to kind of track the mileage. As you can see, it's like a little blue cap with a bit of detailing. I think the company that produces these hub odometers is OEM company. The yellow kind of stripes didn't quite reach, so I just carried that on there. I put this little red thing on the roof here. I'm not too sure what that is. When he lacquered it, you can see the roof has a lot of little kind of pieces of dust or whatever that's kind of trapped, which I'm not too fussed about because the white was actually chipping off, you know, because what it was, I think, I'm not too sure how when they manufacture the real buses, I don't know if they spray the roof red first and then they spray the white over, because obviously, you know, it's a bit of a waste, isn't it, if you're going to spray red and then spray white over it. I think maybe the white paint didn't quite stick onto the roof, which is why eventually, you know, under certain weather conditions, it started to peel off and chip and whatnot. Looking, you know, it just adds to that London effect. So yeah, you can see the Marshall Capital logo. I had to repaint that. It was a bit strange how it looked previously. The disabled sticker and the transport logo there, that I had to change that as well. It was way too big. The destination blind, I had to put a little acetate kind of panel over it to make it look as if it's the destination blind is recessed and it's behind the glass. Same with the headlights. Under a certain, I don't know if it catches the light. Sometimes it catches the light and you can see those are little square cutouts. The sun blind in there, you can see there, that was way too big previously, so I had to scrape it off and put a new one on there. But the windows were recessed in way too much, and I thought, you know what, let me buy some 0.5mm perspex, and I made my own. That's all new. And then same as this here. That's rear destination blind. You can probably see if I try and focus. Let's see, does it? Yeah, you can kind of see it catching the light. You can see a bit of a strip there. You can see some on the cab as well. There's a fire extinguisher there. Obviously, I'll point those out in the actual pictures, but. Another thing that I can mention is the ceiling. That's all been redone. Originally, Stephen didn't paint it. Not to kind of negatively criticize his work, because he's done a brilliant job, especially the amount of hours he put in to the model in comparison to the amount that I've paid him. You know, you wouldn't, a normal collector or whatever wouldn't expect certain details like bloody bus stop buttons or a painted ceiling and whatnot. The ceiling was all, you can see it's all white. I just basically cut these strips of acetate. Let's move on now. I did ask for him to, to make some mirrors, which he did, but yeah, it wasn't accurate. It was important for me to make them. What I did was, you know, you got one, that's the end of the toothpick, yeah, bit of glue on that side, and then yeah, I just basically sanded it. Had a block, just sanded it down. Yeah, that's basically it. I wanted to keep as much as I could from what he's done. And yeah, I don't know if Stephen's ever going to see this video. I didn't mean to criticize him negatively in any way. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I wanted to tell him, you know, thank you as well for the amount of work that he's put into it. And I know he has had a couple of people requesting for this exact same model to be made for them. One funny little story as well, as I was making this model, I, as an idiot, when I was putting those windows in, the interior was on the table, on this table here, and the body of the model was on the seat. So I sat on the seat, and all I heard was crack, fucking big crack. Yeah, you can kind of see there. And that little panel that I painted just kind of separates, it splits up the crack. So do you know what I mean? Same thing here. There was a bit of a crack. It ran down that way, and then there was a crack here as well. Big crack right down there. And I did my best to fix it. I think even here as well, there was a bit of a crack there. But yeah, I did do my best to fix it. I think it looks all right now. So yeah, job done. Let me put that over there now. Put that down, call it a day. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, that's it. Bye bye.